Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon, I'm 17 years old and I have a baby girl called River who is officially 2 months. It's crazy. The time has gone really quick and I don't like it at all. So in today's video I'm going to be recording a Q&A and I've been posting on my TikTok for lots of times now saying that I'm going to record this video and I have not. So here I am recording the video. So I'm going to start from the bottom of my comment section to the top, and then at the very end of the video I'm going to add a few questions that I get a lot on my TikToks and just explain those questions. So the first question is, what was the worst thing about my pregnancy? Now for me personally, I had very swollen ankles and actually my whole body was almost like swollen. I have stretch marks on my arms, my legs, my ankles, and in other places that I would not have expected to get stretch marks. Have stretch marks because I got so swollen, like it was just water weight on me the whole entire time. So definitely like the swelling that I got during my pregnancy, and also my bump was huge, which really hurt my back. Like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to explain to you guys, but it hurt like hell. The next question is, what is the one thing you miss about being pregnant? And there's more than one. So I definitely miss my bump, not the feel of it like on me and obviously the back pain it caused, but I just miss being able to feel it, like just stroke it and have my hands on it. Like, oh, I don't know how to explain, but I think other parents will understand how that feels. And then I also miss the feeling of like her kicking about inside me and like seeing her foot out and about. Like, I just miss it. I don't want to be pregnant again anytime soon. Maybe in the future at some point, but not right now. But I do miss those little things, like just the feelings and the kicks and just watching your bump grow. Those are the things that I miss. So the next question is how we came up with her name. So her name is River Donna Emma Kane. So River is from, I don't actually know. My story is that we found it on the internet and we chose the name River. Ben's story is that he thought of the name River. So I don't really know how we came up with the name River, but there you go. We both have different stories because I can't remember, he can't really remember. So the Donna Emma bit of her name is her middle name and it's double-barreled. The Donna bit of the name is my mum and the Emma bit is Ben's mum. And I just felt, because she's my mum's first grandchild and also Ben's mum's first grandchild, I thought we would involve them into her name and make it more special for them. And then Kane is obviously her last name. So the next question after that is, what other names did we like for River? So Ben and I didn't actually like that many girls' names. We do have a book somewhere where we wrote some names down, but we only ended up with like 2 specific names that we were kind of like arguing between. We didn't know which one we preferred. So there was River, and obviously we went with that one, and then there was Astrid, and we kind of just thought of the name and we just like kind of repeated it over and over again, and we thought River 100% went with her full name. So the 5th question I think is, did you have a C-section? Yes, I did. I had an emergency C-section, so it wasn't planned, and the reasons behind that were because I was dehydrated. River's heart rate was too fast. She had also pooed inside of me and I didn't dilate from 2 centimeters from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. And then the doctor said that he'd wait after they had to break my waters to see if anything would happen, and I still wasn't dilating. So they rushed me to an emergency C-section. So yes, I did have a C-section. So this next one is a very common question that we get, and that is, how did you tell your parents about your pregnancy? So I'm going to explain how I told my parents. With my parents, I told my mum through a message on Messenger, and it was a very long message, and I would show you guys, but I'm not going to. It's quite personal. And she phoned me up and told me to come home because I was staying at Ben's. She told me to come home, and she was shouting down the phone, and it was all understandable because, you know, I'm her baby girl. I was 16 at the time. It's scary. Like, I'm supposed to be like have all this life ahead of me, and yeah, it was her first grandchild, and I think she was just scared out of anything and just didn't know what to do. So I understand why she acted the way she did. But I told my dad in person, well, technically my mum did. So when I came home that night, my mum took me into her bedroom and she gave me a hug and said she supports me and made sure that I wanted to actually keep the baby, and I was like 100%. She then told my dad to come over, and my mum was like, are you going to tell him? When he came through the door, she was like, are you going to tell him? And I was like, I don't want to, because I was so scared. For some reason, I was more scared of my dad's reaction than my mum's, even though my dad had a kid at 16. I don't know why. I think it's because I knew my mum's reaction, but I didn't know my dad's. Anyways, my mum then told my dad that I was pregnant, and he literally turned around to me like, word for word, I'm disappointed, but I expected it because you're my daughter. That is literally what he said. Both parents at the end of the day were very supportive, and it took my mum a little bit longer to get used to the idea of me being pregnant and having a baby. She took about 2 weeks, the scariest 2 weeks of my life, but once she accepted it, I could finally accept it and be happy about it. So this next question, I'm not very proud of like the answer, but at the end of the day, this is what happened. So someone asked, have you done your GCSEs, and if so, were they good? The answer to the were they good bit is no, I didn't do my GCSEs. I was in the 2020 year when we left in March, so our grades were predicted, and obviously you'd retake them if rather you wanted to or you didn't pass. I only passed 3 subjects, and that was English language, history and child development, and these were the 3 lessons that I actually paid attention in and actually wanted to turn up to. Those are my 3 favourite lessons, so in a way I'm kind of glad that I passed those, but I wish I could have at least passed like maths or science just to make me a bit more happier. But the maths bit is up to the school, like that was their fault for not listening to me. So the next question is, what was your favourite thing about your pregnancy? And I think my favourite thing was 100% watching my bump grow and feeling her have hiccups. Surprisingly, that is my favourite thing. She used to have hiccups all the time, and she still does, but I just miss them, like just these little taps inside of me. I really miss them. And like obviously watching my bump grow as well, like watching me go from like skinny to like this huge ball. Yes, it was terrifying, but at the same time I loved watching it. Just I always look through my photos like, oh my god, like it got so big. This one's a little bit grumpy. Here you are. So the next question after that is, what was your hobby / favourite things to do before pregnancy? Now, obviously, so going back to what I was saying, my favourite thing to do before pregnancy was just being able to like swim in the ocean. Like that was my favourite thing to do. And I guess like before having a commitment to a baby, I guess my favourite thing to do would be just being able to do things without having to worry about, you know, like where's River gonna go, you know, what's the weather gonna be like, I need to make sure she's safe. I think that was my favourite thing to do, like just being able to do things without having to think about a baby. The next question is, what have you loved so far about being a first-time mum? And I just love everything, like seeing the milestones like that she achieves. So again, as I was saying, I really like watching her achieve these milestones, like smiling, like standing up, and just, you know, eating her fingers, like all the small little milestones that she's achieving. I just love it. It's so cute. The one thing I can't wait for her to do is laugh. Like, I'm so excited. I also like having a routine. Like, I like having something to do. So when I was pregnant, I wasn't doing anything. I was just lying in bed watching TV, eating, you know, what pregnant women do. I didn't go out much, and I mean, that's probably why I gained a bit of weight during my pregnancy, just a little bit. Now I have a routine and I can go places every day, and I get up and dressed every day, and I just love it. It's like, I don't know. I just like being able to do things every day. Like it's like an achievement. When I get hit the bed at night time, I'm like, yes, you did so much today. Well done for getting out of bed. So the next question is, was River planned or a surprise? And River was a very happy surprise. We did use protection, so she wasn't really supposed to be here, but I'm so happy she is now. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, which is, what is the hardest thing about being a mum and adapting to it? The hardest thing about being a mum for me is just like being yourself is difficult, because you've always got to, you know, be happy and try and be the best you can for your baby. But there's some days where you just feel really low and you're just knackered and you just feel like you're not yourself anymore. I don't know how to explain it. When you become a mother, you change and you do everything for your baby and you don't really care about yourself. And as much as I try to, sometimes I just can't. And I just think so much about River that I just don't have time in my brain to think about myself and about my mental health. And so being myself is probably the biggest thing I struggle with, and especially like loving my body. My postpartum body is not what I expected it to be. I know with a C-section your body doesn't automatically go back to normal like it can with a natural, not automatically, but you know what I mean. But it's not what I wished it would look like, and I know not everyone comes out of pregnancy with, you know, an amazing body, but you do see those people out there that do, and you're like, damn, like I want to look like them. And yeah, there's quite a few things like that I worry about. But as far as adapting, I've actually adapted quite well. We came home from the hospital, and as soon as I like stopped feeling pain, straight away I was just like into it. I don't even care about like waking up early in the night. Like I don't care about any of that, like sleepless nights, anything. I just loved it, and I've always wanted to be a mum, so it just came very naturally to me. And ever since she's been here, I've literally just been with her 24/7 near enough, so it's been great. But this one is, if you could tell your younger self 10 years some advice with what you know now, what would you say? So ooh, it's a tricky one. This isn't connected to my pregnancy or River, but something I wish I could tell myself, my younger self, is just not to worry so much, because I used to worry about everything and I used to overthink. I mean, I still do, but I used to do it crazily, and I'd go to school worrying about like how high my socks were, what kind of tights I was wearing, how high or low my skirt was, or how like tucked in my shirt was. Like, did it look good? Did I look nice? That's all I cared about when I was younger, and I wish I didn't, because it made me so insecure for so many years, and I was just afraid of being bullied. So if I was talking to my younger self right now, I would literally say word for word, do not worry about what others think. Be yourself. That's all that matters. Other people's opinions do not matter whatsoever. Like, just be yourself. And to anyone out there who feels the same as I did when I was younger, please, please, please just be yourself. Other people's opinions just shouldn't matter to you at all. I have definitely overcome from other people's opinions. Like, I don't care about their opinions anymore, because I feel better being myself and being who I am rather than faking it just so I can make someone else happy. But if you're asking relating to pregnancy and stuff like that, then I would tell my younger self not to worry. Everything's gonna be okay. You will meet the guy in a few years' time, and he's gonna ignore you like a total idiot, but he will, you know, he'll come along. And you'll be together for like almost 3 years when it happens, so don't worry. It wasn't a quick let's do it. The question after that is, how have you and Ben been since having River? So we were very good at the beginning, and Ben did so much stuff because I couldn't get up and stuff, so he was actually learning like how to change a nappy, put clothes on a baby, bath a baby, because I couldn't do any of that because of the pain I was in. Ben didn't know any of this because he's never been around babies. He was the youngest in his family, so I understood that he needed some learning, and the C-section was kind of beneficial for that. It gave him some time to learn those things. But how have we been since the hospital? We've had a few ups and downs. I'm going to be honest, we did have a break, a week's break from each other. I stayed at my mum's with River and he stayed here. And then I came back and we spoke about things like adults. We didn't argue, and if we did, we didn't do it in front of River. We sorted things out, and ever since we have been really good and everything's getting so much better. Okay, so this part of the video I'm just going to be answering questions that I know I get a lot commented on my TikToks. I don't know exactly where they are in my comment sections, but I do get them asked a lot. So one of the commonly asked questions I get is, where do me and Ben live? Like, do we have our own place? Do we live with our parents? So the answer to that is, we live with Ben. I live with Ben and his mum, so we live with his mum in her place. She gave us her room, as you can see, because there was no room in Ben's room whatsoever, so she gave us her room. She even put carpets on the floor to make it safer for River, so we're very grateful for that. Another commonly asked question is, how can we afford a baby at the age of 17? So we can afford the baby because my family were very generous and we got gifted things like my cot my dad bought and he built. Him and his partner bought that. And then like the furniture, as you can see, my mum bought. I bought the bed. But like all the babies, like the big baby stuff, rather my parents bought, my family bought, all my mum's friends bought, so we're very grateful for that. And people might say and judge on us for, you know, having our parents buy that stuff, but we didn't ask them to, they chose to. And I think that's what people need to understand about teen parents, is that their parents would probably do this even if they weren't teens, so keep that in mind. Parents just want to help out, and even if we had the money to, I'm pretty sure they would have wanted to buy stuff like this for us anyways. Possibly not the furniture, because we could have bought that ourselves, like our furniture. But the baby stuff, I know that they would 100% still want to get that stuff. Also, we can afford a baby because Ben has a good paying job, so he brings money in every week and we can buy food off of that. We can buy things for River off of that, as well as maybe buying a few treats for us now and then and saving up to move out. Another commonly asked question is, do I go to college or am I in education? And the answer to that is no. Ben goes to work, so he's not in education either, but he is 18 now. And I don't go to college or anything like that because I personally hate education. I hated school, I hated college. So it just wasn't my thing whatsoever. I'm never ever going to be going back into college. I might do something online in the future, but for right now, I just want to go straight to work and earn some money to help us afford things and move out, because I can't just live off of Ben's money my whole life. And the last question is, how well does River sleep? So River has like 1 to 2 naps in the day. She really fights her sleeps. Like, I've only just got her to go to sleep now. So yeah, she really struggles to sleep during the day, but it's good because she sleeps from like 9 o'clock at night till 6-7 a.m. so I cannot complain. But obviously in the day when I want to get things done, it is difficult, but I just kind of like stick her in her chair and, you know, let her watch me do what I'm doing. And she does sometimes just have like little cat naps, or she just watches me and just stays awake and smiles. But that is the end of the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm so sorry that it took me so long to film this video. I hope I can post this as soon as possible. It just depends when I can edit it. But can you please go follow my TikTok, and thank you guys so much for watching. Comment down below what you think my next video should be. Goodbye.